Tonight, Washington is staring down another government funding crisis, and this time it's the Department of Homeland Security at the center of the storm. The Department of Homeland Security, the agency responsible for border security, immigration enforcement, disaster response, and counterterrorism, is now on the brink of a shutdown. Why? Because lawmakers left Washington without reaching a funding deal. Congress adjourned amid deep partisan divisions, leaving DHS funding unresolved just days before the deadline. If no agreement is reached, thousands of DHS employees could be furloughed, and critical operations could face disruptions. This crisis comes at a particularly sensitive moment for the Trump administration. Border security has been a defining issue, with increased enforcement operations and heightened political rhetoric around immigration. A shutdown of DHS would send a powerful and potentially damaging message, especially as immigration remains one of the most debated issues in America. Sources inside Capitol Hill say negotiations stalled over spending levels and policy demands tied to border enforcement. Some lawmakers are pushing for stricter immigration measures as part of any funding package, while others oppose attaching policy conditions to what they call must-pass funding legislation. If DHS shuts down, essential employees, including Border Patrol agents, TSA officers, and Secret Service personnel, would still report to work. However, many would not receive pay until funding is restored. That scenario has happened before, and it often creates financial strain and morale issues across federal agencies. Non-essential functions could pause, administrative processing could slow, grant programs could be delayed, and politically, the optics could be explosive. Critics argue that leaving Washington without a deal reflects dysfunction at the highest levels of government. Supporters say lawmakers are standing firm on principles, refusing to approve funding without stronger border provisions. Either way, the clock is ticking. A shutdown could also impact public confidence. Airports could see staffing strain, disaster response coordination could face complications, and ongoing immigration enforcement operations could be politically overshadowed by the funding chaos. Behind the scenes, leadership from both parties insist talks are ongoing remotely. Emergency short-term funding, known as a continuing resolution, is still possible, but without swift compromise, DHS funding could lapse. This standoff highlights the broader battle over immigration policy and federal spending priorities. With national security on the line, the stakes are high, not just politically, but operationally. Will lawmakers return to Washington to strike a deal, or will DHS become the next casualty of Washington gridlock? We'll continue monitoring this developing story. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.